Fact 1. The evolutionary need for survival instincts. Survival instincts are built into us. They help us stay alive when things go wrong. From ancient times, humans had to react quickly to danger. These instincts allowed us to escape predators or dangerous situations. Without them, we wouldn't have survived long enough to build societies. Our brains are designed to respond fast. When we sense danger, our body gets ready to act. We either fight or run. This quick reaction helped our ancestors survive in a world full of threats. Even today, when we feel scared, our bodies prepare to act fast. But survival instincts go beyond fear. They also keep us safe in everyday life. For example, we avoid dangerous situations without thinking. We don't touch hot stoves or walk into busy streets. These actions are part of our survival instincts too. Over time, our instincts have changed. But at the core, they're still the same. Our survival instincts are deeply rooted in our DNA, keeping us aware of the world around us. They remind us that our most important job is to stay safe, and they guide us without us even noticing. Fact 2. How survival instincts affect our reactions. Survival instincts influence the way we react to danger. When faced with a threat, our body doesn't waste time thinking. It responds quickly, preparing us to act. For example, if we hear a loud noise, our body automatically jumps into action, even before we fully understand what happened. This fast response helps us stay safe. Survival instincts also control how we make decisions under pressure. When danger is near, we tend to focus only on what's essential. Our brain ignores distractions and zooms in on the threat. This focused reaction can make us more efficient in dangerous situations. However, survival instincts don't always work well in modern life. For example, we might react too quickly to a stressful situation at work or in traffic. This quick response can sometimes lead to mistakes, but it's still rooted in our survival mechanisms. In the past, this reaction helped humans avoid harm, and it's still active in us today. Our instincts can be both helpful and harmful, but they are always there, guiding us. They shape how we respond, making sure that our primary goal is to stay alive and out of danger. Fact 3. The role of fear in survival mechanisms. Fear is a powerful survival tool. It triggers an automatic response to potential danger. When we feel afraid, our body goes into alert mode. This helps us react quickly and stay safe. Fear is our body's way of signaling that something is not right and that we need to act. Fear can make us aware of threats in our environment. For example, if we see a snake, our fear tells us to avoid it. This immediate reaction helps us avoid harm without having to think too much about it. Fear sharpens our senses, heightening our awareness of what's around us. Fear also motivates us to protect ourselves. It encourages us to flee from danger, fight back, or freeze in place. This is especially important in situations where every second counts, like when escaping from a dangerous animal or person. However, not all fear is based on real threats. Sometimes, we fear situations that aren't life-threatening. Yet, the instinct to avoid harm is still strong. Even when it's not necessary, fear keeps us alert and ready to act when real danger presents itself. Fact 4. The fight or flight response, a fundamental reflex. The fight or flight response is a basic survival reflex. It's triggered when we sense danger. This reflex prepares the body to either fight back or escape. It's a natural reaction that has been crucial for survival throughout history. When faced with a threat, the body immediately begins to change. Heart rate increases, breathing quickens, and muscles tense up. These changes provide more energy and strength, allowing us to either fight the danger or flee from it. Our body's focus shifts entirely to dealing with the threat. In ancient times, this response helped humans survive dangerous encounters with predators or enemies. Today, it's still activated in stressful situations. It might happen when we're in an argument, facing a deadline, or even when we're startled by a loud noise. The body doesn't distinguish between real life or death threats and everyday stress. It reacts the same way, preparing us to act. While the fight or flight response can help us in emergencies, it's not always needed in modern life. In fact, too many stressors can overactivate this response, leading to physical and mental health issues if it's not managed properly. Fact 5. The brain's role in threat detection. The brain plays a key role in detecting threats. It's constantly scanning our environment for signs of danger. This happens automatically, without us even realizing it. The brain analyzes what's going on around us, comparing it to past experiences to determine if something is threatening. The brain's detection system is designed to respond to changes in our surroundings. For example, if we hear footsteps behind us, our brain automatically checks whether those sounds are a threat. It does this quickly and without conscious thought, using stored information about what is dangerous and what isn't. The amygdala, a small part of the brain, plays a crucial role in threat detection. It processes emotions and helps us react to danger. When the amygdala senses something threatening, it signals other parts of the brain and body to prepare for action. This is why we can react so quickly to a loud noise or a sudden movement. While our brains are excellent at detecting real threats, they can also misinterpret harmless situations as dangerous. This is part of why we sometimes feel anxious or fearful, even when there's no immediate danger. Fact 6. How the amygdala drives fear responses. The amygdala is the part of the brain responsible for processing fear. It helps us detect and respond to potential threats. When we encounter something that could be dangerous, the amygdala sends signals to other parts of the brain, triggering the body's fear response. The amygdala works quickly, often faster than we can consciously think. For example, if you see a spider, your amygdala reacts almost instantly, causing your heart rate to increase and your body to prepare for action. This quick response is crucial for survival, allowing us to react before we fully process the danger. The amygdala also stores emotional memories. This means that once we've experienced something fearful, the amygdala helps us recognize similar threats in the future. This helps us avoid danger more effectively. However, the amygdala isn't perfect. Sometimes it can trigger fear responses in situations that aren't really dangerous, like during anxiety attacks. This happens when the brain misinterprets harmless events as threats, but the amygdala still sends the same fear signals. Fact 7. Why our bodies freeze. During danger. Freezing is another survival reaction that happens when we're faced with danger. It's a natural response to fear. When we freeze, our body becomes still and we stop moving. This reaction helps us avoid detection by predators or threats in certain situations. The freeze response happens when the brain feels that fighting or running isn't an option. Instead, the body becomes motionless to avoid drawing attention. This reaction is more common in situations where escape isn't possible or the threat is too dangerous to confront directly. While freezing can help in some situations, it doesn't always work well in modern life. When we feel overwhelmed by stress or fear, freezing can leave us feeling stuck. We might not know how to react or what to do next, making the situation worse. However, freezing is still a crucial instinct in some dangerous situations, like when we need to blend into our surroundings or avoid making noise. It's another tool our survival instincts give us to handle threats. Fact 8. The science of cortisol and stress. Cortisol is a hormone that's released in response to stress. It plays a vital role in the body's fight or flight response. When we encounter danger, cortisol helps us react quickly by increasing our energy and alertness. Cortisol does this by affecting several systems in the body. It raises blood sugar levels, boosts metabolism, and enhances memory and focus, helping us to deal with threats. While cortisol is essential in emergencies, too much of it can have negative effects on health. Chronic stress can cause the body to produce high levels of cortisol over time. This can lead to health problems like high blood pressure, anxiety, and even weakened immune function. Managing stress and keeping cortisol levels in check is crucial for long-term health. Our bodies are designed to handle short bursts of stress, but constant stress can wear us down. Learning how to cope with stress and lower cortisol levels is an important part of maintaining both physical and mental health. Fact 9. The influence of adrenaline on the body. Adrenaline is another hormone that plays a key role in survival. When we're faced with a threat, adrenaline prepares the body to respond quickly. It causes physical changes that help us react faster and more effectively to danger. Adrenaline increases heart rate and blood flow, delivering more oxygen and energy to muscles. It also sharpens vision, allowing us to spot potential threats more clearly. These changes happen quickly, allowing us to fight or run in response to danger. While adrenaline is useful in life-threatening situations, it can also be triggered by stress. For example, when we're nervous about an event or worried about something, Our body might release adrenaline, even though there's no real danger. This can lead to feelings of anxiety or nervousness. Although adrenaline is essential for survival, too much of it over time can be harmful. It can cause physical symptoms like trembling or sweating, and lead to mental exhaustion if the body is constantly in a state of alertness. Fact 10. Heart rate and survival. A biological link. Heart rate plays a significant role in survival. When faced with danger, our heart rate increases. This is part of the body's preparation for fight or flight. A faster heart rate pumps more blood to muscles, helping us react quickly. The heart rate is closely linked to our emotions and survival instincts. When we're scared, our heart rate speeds up, signaling the body to prepare for action. This quick response is vital in life-threatening situations. However, in modern life, an increased heart rate can happen, even when there's no real danger. Stressful situations like public speaking or arguments can trigger a faster heart rate, even though we're not facing any immediate threat. This is why it's important to learn how to manage stress and calm the body. In life or death situations, a high heart rate helps us stay alert. But over time, if the heart rate stays high due to constant stress, it can harm the body. High blood pressure and heart disease can result from long-term stress and an overactive survival response. Fact 11. How hunger fuels survival instincts. Hunger is a powerful driver of survival. When we're hungry, our body sends signals to our brain, triggering an instinct to find food. This feeling of hunger isn't just about wanting something to eat, it's about survival. The brain, particularly the hypothalamus, plays a major role in regulating hunger. It sends signals when energy levels are low, pushing us to seek out food. Hunger also influences behavior. It sharpens our focus and increases our drive. When food is scarce, the survival instinct makes us more resourceful and alert, making it easier to identify potential sources of food. In the past, this would have been crucial for survival, as it would push us to hunt, forage, or find other ways to feed ourselves. However, hunger also triggers emotional responses. It can lead to irritability, stress, or even desperation when food is unavailable. This is because the body and brain perceive the lack of food as a threat to survival, which is why the hunger response is so strong and influential in motivating our actions. Fact 12. The role of dopamine in survival as motivation. Dopamine is often called the reward chemical. It plays a key role in motivating us to pursue things that will help us survive. When we experience something rewarding, like eating, finding shelter, or achieving a goal, dopamine is released, creating a feeling of pleasure. This release encourages us to repeat the behavior in the future. From an evolutionary perspective, dopamine motivates behaviors that increase our chances of survival. For example, the pleasure we get from eating encourages us to seek food. Similarly, the sense of accomplishment we get from completing a task motivates us to keep striving for success, whether it's finding a mate or securing resources. Dopamine also helps us learn from experience. When we are rewarded for certain actions, the brain remembers what led to the reward. This increases the likelihood of repeating those actions in the future. By reinforcing survival behaviors, dopamine strengthens our drive to continue making choices that promote our well-being and survival. Fact 13. How pain signals trigger. Survival reflexes. Pain is a vital part of our survival instinct. When we experience pain, it's a signal that something is wrong. The body responds quickly to these signals, triggering reflexes that protect us from further harm. For example, if we touch something hot, our body immediately pulls away before we even consciously recognize the pain. Pain triggers the release of endorphins, which help manage discomfort and allow us to continue functioning even when injured. This quick response is essential for survival. It prevents further damage by making us avoid harmful situations, like stepping on sharp objects or being near extreme heat. In some cases, pain can also motivate us to seek help or safety. If the pain is severe, it signals the body to rest and recover, which can be crucial in healing from injuries. While pain is unpleasant, it is a necessary survival tool that alerts us to dangers and guides us toward actions that protect our bodies from harm. Fact 14. How our senses heighten in life-threatening situations. In life-threatening situations, our senses become heightened. This is part of the body's natural survival response. When faced with danger, the brain prioritizes sensory information, allowing us to detect threats faster and react more effectively. Our hearing sharpens to detect any sounds of movement, while our vision becomes more focused on movement or potential hazards in our environment. This heightened sensitivity can help us spot danger more quickly, whether it's the rustling of leaves, a sudden noise, or a flash of movement. The body's fight or flight response is activated, pumping adrenaline into the system, which increases our alertness and reaction speed. In addition to vision and hearing, our sense of smell and touch can also become more acute. This allows us to detect changes in the environment, such as the scent of smoke or the texture of a surface, which could indicate danger. These changes in our sensory perception are essential for surviving in dangerous situations, helping us detect and avoid threats faster. Fact 15. The survival advantage of heightened vision. Heightened vision is one of the key advantages in survival situations. When faced with a threat, the brain shifts resources to enhance our ability to see clearly and react quickly. In dangerous situations, our focus narrows, allowing us to pick up on subtle visual cues that would otherwise go unnoticed. The ability to spot movement or changes in the environment is crucial for survival. For instance, spotting a predator or an incoming threat from a distance can give us the time needed to either flee or prepare a defense. The brain's response to danger includes widening our field of vision and sharpening our focus, giving us a better chance of detecting threats early. In addition, our depth perception improves during high-stress moments. This helps us assess distances quickly, whether it's running to safety or navigating difficult terrain. Heightened vision provides an edge in survival, ensuring we can react faster and make decisions based on what we see in our environment. Fact 16. The importance of sound in threat detection. Sound plays a critical role in detecting danger. When we hear something unusual, our brains immediately assess whether it poses a threat. Whether it's the rustling of leaves, footsteps, or an animal's growl, sounds give us vital clues about our environment. Our brain is wired to respond quickly to these sounds, especially in situations where the potential for danger is high. The ability to detect sounds from a distance allows us to react before a threat gets too close. For example, hearing someone approaching can help us decide whether to hide, flee, or prepare to defend ourselves. The brain prioritizes auditory information, especially in situations where visual cues may be limited, like in the dark or during low visibility conditions. The survival advantage of sound detection extends beyond just hearing. Our ability to identify the source, direction, and urgency of a sound plays a role in how we plan our next move. Whether it's escaping a predator or avoiding a dangerous situation, sound helps guide our responses and keeps us alert to possible threats. Fact 17. How smell plays a role in danger. Detection. Smell is an often overlooked sense in survival, but it plays a crucial role in detecting danger. When we encounter certain scents, our brain immediately starts to process whether they represent a threat. For example, the smell of smoke triggers a survival response warning us of a potential fire or danger nearby. Our sense of smell is connected to the brain's emotional center, the limbic system, which processes emotions and memories. This connection means that smells can evoke immediate emotional reactions such as fear or alertness. In ancient times, this ability to detect smells, like the scent of predators or spoiled food, helped our ancestors avoid danger. In modern life, the power of smell is still relevant. For instance, detecting the scent of chemicals or gas leaks alerts us to potential hazards. While we might not rely on smell for survival in the same way as our ancestors, it remains a crucial tool for detecting danger and protecting ourselves in various environments. Fact 18. Survival through emotional connections. Emotional connections are vital for survival. Human beings are social creatures, and our survival has always been tied to our ability to form strong bonds with others. These emotional connections help us work together for mutual protection, share resources, and ensure the well-being of our communities. Our ability to care for others and form attachments creates a network of support, which is essential in dangerous situations. If we are in trouble, the people around us are more likely to help, and vice versa. These bonds have a deep survival value, as cooperation increases our chances of overcoming challenges together. The emotional connection to family and close relationships is especially powerful. It motivates us to protect loved ones and work together for their safety. In times of crisis, these connections strengthen our survival instincts, driving us to act in ways that benefit the group rather than just ourselves. Fact 19. The protective instinct for family and loved ones. The protective instinct for family and loved ones is deeply embedded in our survival instincts. When we sense a threat to our family, our immediate reaction is to protect them, sometimes even at the expense of our own safety. This behavior has evolved over time to ensure the survival of our species. This instinct is rooted in the desire to pass on our genes and ensure the next generation's survival. Parents, for example, will often put themselves in harm's way to protect their children. This instinct can be observed in many species, but in humans it's particularly strong due to our emotional bonds. The drive to protect others also extends beyond biological relatives. We're wired to care for close friends and those we feel connected to. This protective instinct strengthens social bonds, which is essential for survival in larger groups. In a way, caring for others helps to build communities that can face challenges together, increasing the chances of everyone's survival. Fact 20. The herd mentality. Safety in numbers. The herd mentality is an instinctual behavior where individuals feel safer when they are part of a group. This behavior is based on the idea that being surrounded by others increases our chances of survival. In nature, animals often form groups to protect themselves from predators. Humans share this instinct, relying on social groups for safety. The herd mentality helps us make decisions more quickly, especially in situations of uncertainty. When a group reacts to danger, it reduces the risk of making wrong choices. For example, if one person notices a threat, the rest of the group is likely to follow suit and act accordingly. While this instinct to follow the crowd has survival value, it can also lead to negative outcomes, like herd behavior that's not based on reason. For instance, panic can spread through a group, leading to poor decisions. Despite these risks, the herd mentality remains a powerful survival instinct, guiding our actions in times of danger and uncertainty. Fact 21. The brain's response to isolation and loneliness. The brain responds strongly to isolation and loneliness, viewing them as threats to survival. Humans are social creatures, and for thousands of years our survival depended on being part of a group. When isolated, our brains signal distress, triggering stress responses that can negatively impact our health. Isolation activates the release of stress hormones, like cortisol, which can increase feelings of anxiety and depression. This is the brain's way of warning us that we need to reconnect with others to stay safe. The social bonds we form are vital for protection, resource sharing, and emotional support. Loneliness also impacts the brain's cognitive functions, making it harder to think clearly and make decisions. Over time, prolonged loneliness can lead to feelings of hopelessness, weakening the ability to handle stress. In survival situations, being alone increases vulnerability to threats. This is why humans often seek companionship, even in non-dangerous times, to stay connected and protected. Humans are wired for connection, and when that connection is lost, the brain reacts as though it's a threat, encouraging us to seek social interactions to restore safety. Fact 22. How the brain relies on patterns for survival. The brain is constantly looking for patterns to make sense of the world around us. This pattern recognition is a critical survival tool. By identifying patterns, our brain can predict future events, helping us avoid danger or seize opportunities before they arise. This ability to spot patterns is hardwired into our brain, allowing us to recognize familiar threats. For example, if we see a predator's movement pattern, we can quickly determine whether it's a danger and respond appropriately. Over time, the brain fine-tunes these patterns to help us act faster in similar situations. Humans also use pattern recognition to remember safe routes, recognize social cues, and anticipate the behavior of others. This skill reduces the time we need to react in dangerous situations, making us more efficient in survival. However, our brain sometimes overgeneralizes, seeing patterns that aren't there, which can lead to unnecessary fear or anxiety. Ultimately, pattern recognition allows us to make informed decisions quickly, giving us an edge in survival situations by anticipating and reacting to potential threats. Fact 23. The role of memory in threat avoidance. Memory plays an essential role in helping us avoid danger and stay safe. When we encounter a threat, the brain encodes those experiences, ensuring we remember the associated danger. This memory-based learning process helps us recognize future threats and respond appropriately, increasing our chances of survival. The hippocampus, the brain's memory center, helps store and process these crucial experiences. It records information about harmful events, such as encounters with dangerous animals, accidents, or threatening people, allowing us to recall these events when similar situations arise. This makes us more cautious and helps prevent re-exposing ourselves to harm. Memory also plays a part in environmental awareness. If we've learned that a particular location or activity poses a risk, we'll avoid it in the future, reinforcing our instinct to protect ourselves. By recognizing patterns, the brain sharpens our ability to make safer decisions and navigate the world with heightened awareness. However, memory isn't always perfect. In some cases, trauma or anxiety can cause us to misinterpret harmless situations as threats. This overreaction, though based on past experiences, can hinder us. Nonetheless, memory's role in threat avoidance remains vital for self-preservation. Fact 24. How trauma shapes survival. Mechanisms. Trauma has a profound impact on our survival mechanisms, often intensifying our brain's response to perceived threats. When a traumatic event occurs, the body and brain react by enhancing survival instincts to protect us from future harm. These heightened responses, while useful in certain situations, can also lead to exaggerated reactions, even when no immediate danger is present. The amygdala, responsible for processing emotions and fear, becomes more sensitive after trauma. This heightened sensitivity makes us more alert to potential threats, often triggering the body's fight-or-flight response in non-threatening situations. For example, someone who has experienced trauma may react with fear or anxiety in social encounters or everyday challenges, even when the actual risk is minimal. This survival instinct, shaped by trauma, can help protect individuals from danger, but it can also disrupt normal functioning. The constant state of heightened alertness can lead to anxiety, poor decision-making, and difficulty distinguishing between real and imagined threats. Over time, this can contribute to conditions like PTSD, where survival mechanisms remain overly active, even in safe environments. Despite the challenges posed by trauma, these heightened responses are the brain's way of trying to shield us from future harm, underlining the complexity of survival instincts shaped by our experiences. Fact 25. The impact of evolution on fear. Responses. Fear responses have evolved over millions of years to help humans survive. Early humans faced constant threats, from predators to environmental dangers. To protect themselves, they developed the ability to recognize and react to threats quickly. These fear responses were essential for survival and have been passed down through generations. Evolution has shaped fear to be an immediate instinctive response. When faced with danger, the body reacts without conscious thought, allowing for quick decision-making. This includes the release of adrenaline and cortisol, which prepare the body to either fight or flee. These responses would have been critical for avoiding harm and escaping dangerous situations. Over time, evolution has fine-tuned these responses, making humans highly sensitive to certain types of danger, such as loud noises, heights, or unfamiliar environments. While the threats we face today are often different, the basic fear response remains strong and continues to guide our behavior. In modern times, this evolution can still help us avoid danger, though it sometimes triggers fear in situations where there's no immediate threat. Despite this, the evolutionary role of fear remains an important survival tool. Fact 26. The genetic foundation of survival instincts. Survival instincts are deeply rooted in our genetics. These instincts are passed down from our ancestors, who relied on them to survive in dangerous environments. From the fight-or-flight response to the ability to sense danger, these genetic traits have helped humans adapt and thrive over time. Genetic evolution has shaped how our bodies and minds respond to threats. For example, our ancestors needed to react quickly to predators, so they developed an automatic fear response. This response, triggered by the brain, helped them avoid danger and protect their families. Today, many of these genetic survival instincts still guide us, even though we may not face the same dangers our ancestors did. Our brains are wired to detect threats and react with fear, helping us stay safe. These instincts are encoded in our DNA and are passed down from generation to generation, ensuring that we have the tools to protect ourselves. While modern society has less immediate danger, the genetic foundation of survival instincts remains essential for our overall well-being. Fact 27. Fear of the unknown. A survival advantage. Fear of the unknown is a natural survival instinct. In early human history, unknown situations often meant danger. Anything unfamiliar, whether it was new territory or strange animals, could pose a threat to survival. This fear helped our ancestors stay cautious and avoid potentially deadly situations. The brain is wired to treat the unknown as a threat. When faced with something unfamiliar, it triggers a fear response to ensure caution. This instinct allowed humans to survive in unpredictable environments by encouraging them to avoid risky situations until they could assess the danger. However, in modern life, this fear can lead to unnecessary anxiety or hesitation. While some uncertainty is still threatening, many unknowns are not dangerous at all. Yet, our brains still react the same way, making us more cautious or fearful than necessary. Despite these challenges, fear of the unknown continues to serve as a protective mechanism, keeping us safe by urging us to be cautious and assess unfamiliar situations before fully engaging. Fact 28. The importance of movement in survival. Situations. Movement is a key part of survival. When faced with danger, our bodies naturally react by moving, whether it's to escape or fight. The instinct to move helps us get to safety quickly and avoid threats that are too close. This survival response is built into our physiology, and it becomes automatic when danger is present. In survival situations, moving quickly can make the difference between life and death. A fast response allows us to flee from predators or avoid accidents. For example, if we see a car coming towards us, the first instinct is to jump out of the way. Our muscles are prepared for action, and our heart rate increases to fuel this movement. Movement also helps us adapt to changing environments. Whether it's navigating difficult terrain, finding food, or securing shelter, movement is essential for survival. Even in modern life, staying physically active helps keep our bodies alert and prepared for unexpected situations. The drive to move is deeply connected to our survival instincts, ensuring that we stay adaptable and capable of responding to threats. Fact 29. Why humans seek shelter in dangerous situations. Shelter is one of the first things humans seek when they're in danger. From the beginning of human history, finding a safe place to protect oneself from environmental threats like weather, predators, or enemies has been essential for survival. This instinct to seek shelter is hardwired into the brain. When danger arises, the brain immediately assesses the environment for shelter options. The desire to find safety helps us survive by keeping us away from harm. Whether it's a cave, a building, or a safe hiding spot, shelter offers protection and allows us to regroup and plan our next move. This instinct is especially strong in extreme situations. For example, if we're caught in a storm or exposed to extreme temperatures, our bodies naturally seek shelter to preserve warmth and prevent injury. Even in modern life, we seek shelter from stress, emotional pain, or overwhelming situations, as it provides a sense of security. Shelter represents safety, and the survival instinct to find it helps us protect ourselves from immediate harm, ensuring that we can continue to survive and thrive. Fact 30. The link between survival and reproductive instincts. Survival and reproduction are closely linked in human behavior. The desire to survive ensures that we live long enough to reproduce and pass on our genes. This connection between survival and reproduction is deeply embedded in our biology, influencing many of our actions and instincts. Reproductive instincts push us to protect our own survival, not just for ourselves but for the future of our offspring. Parents are wired to protect their children, ensuring that they grow up healthy and can one day reproduce. The drive to continue our genetic line motivates us to stay safe, find food, and avoid risks that could lead to death. In many ways, survival and reproduction are two sides of the same coin. The need to survive is what enables us to reproduce, and the desire to reproduce encourages us to protect ourselves and our families. These intertwined instincts are fundamental to the continuation of our species, ensuring that we do everything we can to survive and pass on our genes to the next generation. Fact 31. Why human beings are hardwired for self-preservation. Human beings are hardwired for self-preservation. From an evolutionary standpoint, survival is the most basic instinct. Over millions of years, humans developed biological and psychological mechanisms to protect themselves from harm. Our brain constantly monitors our environment for signs of danger, triggering automatic responses when necessary. These instincts are deeply embedded in our genetic makeup. For example, the fight-or-flight response allows us to quickly react to threats. When faced with danger, our body prepares to either fight back or escape, ensuring our survival in life-threatening situations. These responses are automatic and don't require conscious thought, which is crucial in urgent moments. Self-preservation also plays a role in maintaining physical health. Our brain prompts us to rest when we're injured or ill, allowing our bodies to heal and recover. We instinctively avoid risky behaviors or situations that could harm us. This hardwired instinct to protect ourselves has been vital throughout human history, helping us navigate a world filled with dangers. Even today, self-preservation drives many of our actions, ensuring that we continue to survive and thrive in a complex world. Fact 32. How empathy enhances survival in social groups. Empathy plays a key role in survival within social groups. Humans are social creatures, and our ability to understand and share the feelings of others helps strengthen relationships and foster cooperation. This empathy builds strong social bonds which are essential for survival in group settings. Empathy enables humans to care for each other, share resources, and work together in times of need. When one person is in danger, others in the group are more likely to step in and help. This willingness to support others increases the survival chances of the entire group. For example, in early human societies, working together to hunt or defend against predators was vital for survival. Empathy also helps avoid conflict and promotes peaceful cooperation within groups. It encourages pro-social behaviors such as helping, sharing, and nurturing, which benefit everyone in the group. In situations of stress or danger, empathy encourages people to prioritize the well-being of others, creating a supportive network that enhances the chances of survival for all. In short, empathy strengthens social connections, ensuring that people work together to overcome challenges and increase their collective survival. Fact 33. The role of aggression in survival scenarios. Aggression can be an important survival mechanism in certain situations. In the face of danger, aggression helps humans assert control over their environment, protect themselves, and defend their resources. This instinctive response often triggers when we feel threatened or perceive a danger to ourselves or those we care about. In evolutionary terms, aggression helped our ancestors protect themselves from predators or rival groups. The drive to defend territory, protect offspring, and secure resources is deeply rooted in human behavior. Aggressive actions, such as fighting back against an attacker or protecting a group, increase the chances of survival in threatening situations. However, while aggression can be helpful in some cases, it also has its risks. Over-aggressive behavior can lead to conflict and harm, especially in situations where cooperation is more beneficial. In modern society, aggression can often be harmful, leading to social or legal consequences. Still, the instinct to act aggressively when survival is at stake is an ingrained part of human nature, balancing our need to protect ourselves with the need to live harmoniously with others. Fact 34. How defensive mechanisms help avoid harm. Defensive mechanisms are psychological strategies that help individuals avoid harm, both physically and emotionally. These mechanisms, developed over time, serve as automatic responses to protect us from psychological stress or danger. They help us deal with uncomfortable situations by minimizing threat or discomfort. For example, denial is a common defense mechanism where individuals refuse to accept unpleasant truths, like ignoring a serious health issue. This short-term avoidance may allow them to function more effectively under stress. Another example is projection, where individuals attribute their own negative feelings or behaviors to others, protecting themselves from facing uncomfortable emotions. Defensive mechanisms also protect the psyche from overwhelming emotions. Repression, for instance, involves burying painful memories or experiences deep within the subconscious mind, preventing them from interfering with daily life. While these mechanisms can offer temporary relief, they often come at a cost, as they may prevent individuals from addressing the root causes of their stress or pain. In survival scenarios, these psychological defenses allow individuals to keep functioning even under extreme emotional strain, thus increasing their chances of coping with challenging situations. Fact 35. The survival value of flight over fight. The fight or flight response is an essential survival mechanism. However, flight, choosing to run away, often offers a better chance of survival than fighting. When faced with a predator or threat, fleeing can be the best option to stay alive, especially when the risk of confrontation outweighs the benefits of fighting. Flight allows individuals to escape from dangerous situations quickly. In ancient times, when faced with a predator, running away would increase the chances of survival. The body's instinct to flee is triggered by the brain when it perceives a situation as dangerous but not immediately winnable. By running, we avoid injury or death, giving ourselves a better opportunity to survive and regroup. While the fight response is crucial in certain situations, flight offers a strategic advantage. It minimizes harm and increases the chance to seek safety, find resources, or plan a more effective defense. In today's world, this instinct still exists. In dangerous situations, choosing to run or seek refuge rather than confront a threat head-on can be the smartest decision, ensuring survival in many cases. Fact 36. Why human beings? Fear the dark. Fear of the dark is a deeply ingrained survival instinct. Historically, the darkness represented danger. Early humans had limited vision at night and were vulnerable to predators and other threats. The fear of the dark helped our ancestors stay alert and cautious during nighttime when danger was more likely. This fear is rooted in evolutionary survival. Without the ability to see clearly in the dark, our ancestors were at risk of being attacked by nocturnal predators. The brain developed a heightened sense of alertness during the night to avoid such dangers. This instinct is still present in humans today, even though modern society is much safer. Fear of the dark, or nyctophobia, continues to be a common fear. It triggers the brain to stay cautious, even in the absence of actual threats. This fear is a natural defense mechanism that heightens awareness and encourages avoidance of risky situations when visibility is poor. Though less relevant today, the fear of the dark remains a protective reflex that serves as a reminder of our vulnerability in low-light conditions. Fact 37. The role of instinctive response in fear-inducing situations. Instinctive responses play a crucial role in how we react to fear. These automatic reactions are hardwired into our brain to help us survive dangerous situations. When we feel fear, our body immediately triggers a response to protect us, often without conscious thought. These responses, such as the fight or flight reaction, prepare us to either confront or escape the threat. The brain's amygdala plays a significant role in triggering these instinctive reactions when a threat is detected. It helps the body prepare for action, releasing hormones like adrenaline to boost physical performance. Instinctive responses also involve freezing in place. In some situations, staying still can help us avoid detection by predators or other threats. This freeze response is a survival tactic that may help us stay unnoticed until it's safe to move again. Instinctive fear responses are important in survival, but they aren't always perfect. They can sometimes be triggered in non-dangerous situations, leading to anxiety or overreactions. Still, these instincts have helped humans navigate threats for centuries, ensuring our chances of survival. Fact 38. Why our survival instincts don't always serve us well. While survival instincts are crucial, they don't always work in our favor in modern life. Many of these instincts developed when humans faced immediate physical threats, like predators or harsh environments. However, in today's world, these ancient responses are often triggered in situations where they're not needed, such as when facing social stress or emotional challenges. For example, the fight or flight response might kick in when we're nervous about public speaking or a work deadline. This can cause unnecessary anxiety and stress, even though there's no real physical threat. Similarly, the instinct to freeze might leave us paralyzed when we need to make a decision in a non-life-threatening situation. Survival instincts, while helpful in danger, can sometimes cause us to overreact. The body's automatic response to stress can lead to health problems, like high blood pressure or chronic anxiety if triggered too frequently. Although these instincts were vital for survival in the past, they don't always align with modern-day threats, where thoughtful reasoning is often a better response than instinctive reactions. Fact 39. The danger of overthinking in life-threatening situations. Overthinking in life-threatening situations can be dangerous. While it's natural to want to assess all possible outcomes, overanalyzing can delay action and increase the risk of harm. Survival situations often require immediate instinctive responses, and overthinking can hinder these quick decisions. When we are faced with a threat, the brain may start processing information in excess, weighing every possible option. While this might seem helpful, it can lead to confusion and hesitation. In dangerous situations, this delay can cost precious seconds or minutes, reducing the chances of survival. Survival instincts work best when the brain reacts quickly, without overthinking. The instinctive fight-or-flight response bypasses this lengthy decision-making process, allowing us to react faster. In contrast, overthinking often involves second-guessing ourselves, which can lead to missed opportunities or even worse, staying in danger longer. In modern life, this can also be a problem. Stressful situations that don't involve physical danger may trigger the same overthinking patterns, affecting decision-making and causing unnecessary anxiety. Learning to manage overthinking is essential for staying calm and making the best choices when it counts. Fact 40. How adrenaline affects our ability to think clearly. Adrenaline plays a significant role in survival, but it can also impact our ability to think clearly. When we experience a stressful situation or danger, our body releases adrenaline, preparing us to act quickly. While this boost of energy helps us react faster, it can also cloud our judgment. Adrenaline causes changes in the brain, increasing alertness and focus on the immediate threat. However, it can also reduce our ability to think logically or assess the situation thoroughly. This can lead to impulsive decisions or tunnel vision, where we only focus on the perceived threat without considering other factors. In life-threatening situations, adrenaline may help us act fast, but it doesn't always lead to the best decisions. The rush of energy can make us less aware of our surroundings or prevent us from evaluating all the possible risks. Managing adrenaline levels is important to ensure that we don't act recklessly, especially in situations where clear thinking is necessary for survival. Fact 41. The link between survival instincts and anxiety. Survival instincts and anxiety are closely related. Anxiety is often the body's response to perceived danger, even when no immediate threat exists. The brain, constantly scanning for potential risks, triggers anxiety as a way of preparing us for possible threats. This reaction was useful in early human history when constant vigilance was necessary for survival. When we feel anxious, our body goes into a heightened state of alertness, much like when we are in danger. The release of stress hormones like cortisol primes us to react quickly, whether by fighting or fleeing. However, in modern life, anxiety can be triggered by everyday situations, such as public speaking or work pressure. These triggers can make us feel as though we are under attack, even when there is no real threat. While anxiety helps us stay alert and ready to react in emergencies, it can be overwhelming when it's not based on real danger. Chronic anxiety can lead to stress and health problems if the survival response is triggered too often. Managing anxiety is crucial for maintaining balance, ensuring that our survival instincts are activated only when truly needed. Fact 42. The biological drive to protect ourselves from danger. Humans are biologically wired to protect themselves from danger. This protective drive is rooted in our survival instincts, which have evolved over millions of years. Our brains are hardwired to react to potential threats with speed and efficiency. This instinct to protect ourselves is deeply embedded in our biology, ensuring that we react quickly when faced with danger. The brain's fight-or-flight response is one of the primary ways we protect ourselves. When we sense a threat, our body prepares to either fight or flee. This is an automatic response, allowing us to take immediate action. Additionally, the release of stress hormones like adrenaline helps our muscles and senses become sharper, enabling us to act more effectively. In modern life, this biological drive can also manifest in less immediate but still harmful situations. We protect ourselves from emotional pain, physical harm, or stress by avoiding certain situations or people. This drive to safeguard ourselves remains a core part of our survival mechanism, ensuring we take the necessary steps to stay safe and well. Fact 43. How anger serves as a survival mechanism. Anger is a natural response to perceived threats or injustices, and it serves an important role in survival. In early human history, anger would trigger the fight response, allowing individuals to protect themselves, their loved ones, and their territory. The physiological changes associated with anger, such as increased heart rate and blood pressure, prepare the body for action, whether it's defending against an attack or asserting dominance. Anger also helps us protect boundaries and assert ourselves. It can motivate us to stand up for our rights or confront a situation that might put us at risk. In moments of danger or conflict, anger can give us the strength and courage to act quickly. However, while anger can be protective, it's not always helpful in modern life. When we experience anger in non-threatening situations, it can cloud judgment and lead to poor decisions. Understanding the balance between healthy anger and destructive behavior is key to using this survival mechanism effectively, ensuring it works when necessary without causing harm in everyday situations. Fact 44. How fear of pain impacts. Decision-making. Fear of pain plays a critical role in decision-making. From an evolutionary perspective, avoiding pain is essential for survival. Pain signals our body to stop harmful activities and seek safety or recovery. When we face potential harm, fear of pain encourages us to make decisions that reduce the risk of injury or discomfort. For example, if we are faced with a dangerous situation, like stepping into traffic or touching a hot stove, fear of the pain that could result often drives us to avoid these actions. This instinct helps us protect ourselves from injury, ensuring our survival in everyday situations. However, fear of pain can also limit decision-making. In some cases, the fear of pain might prevent us from taking necessary risks or trying new things. For example, someone who's afraid of emotional pain might avoid relationships, while someone fearful of physical pain might shy away from exercise or challenging activities. Balancing the fear of pain with the need to grow or take calculated risks is essential for navigating life. Fact 45. The role of anticipation in survival instincts. Anticipation is a powerful survival tool. The ability to predict potential threats or challenges allows us to prepare in advance, increasing our chances of survival. Humans have evolved to anticipate danger based on past experiences, environmental cues, and learned patterns. For example, when we hear a loud noise or see a shadow, our brain immediately starts predicting whether it's a threat. If we've encountered danger before in a similar situation, our brain uses that memory to prepare us to act. This instinctive anticipation helps us react more quickly and effectively when a real threat appears. In addition to danger, anticipation is also essential for securing resources. By predicting where food, shelter, or safety might be found, we can prepare ourselves for survival long before a crisis arises. In modern life, anticipation still plays a role, whether it's preparing for a stressful situation or anticipating challenges in everyday tasks. It's a vital skill that helps us stay alert and prepared for whatever might come. Fact 46. Why we are drawn to potential threats. Humans are naturally drawn to potential threats. This may seem counterintuitive, but from an evolutionary perspective, it makes sense. Being alert and aware of possible dangers increases the chances of survival. Our brains are wired to notice potential threats, even when they aren't immediately obvious. This instinct is linked to the fight-or-flight response. When we sense something could be dangerous, our curiosity often pushes us to investigate further. This behavior helped our ancestors stay aware of predators, competitors, or other threats in their environment. By investigating potential dangers, they could react quickly and avoid harm. In modern life, this instinct can still manifest when we feel curious about dangerous situations. For example, When we hear about an accident or a risky activity, we might feel compelled to learn more. While this tendency helps us stay alert to potential threats, it can sometimes cause unnecessary stress or anxiety, especially when the danger isn't real. Being aware of this instinct allows us to balance curiosity with caution. Fact 47. The role of evolutionary psychology in modern fears. Evolutionary psychology explains why certain fears are universal and deeply ingrained in human behavior. These fears developed as survival mechanisms to protect our ancestors from threats in their environment. Over time, these instinctive fears became hardwired into the human brain. Common fears, such as fear of heights, spiders, or the dark, are all rooted in evolutionary psychology. These fears are linked to real threats faced by early humans. For example, fear of heights kept our ancestors from falling from dangerous cliffs, while fear of snakes helped them avoid poisonous creatures. Even today, these fears remain active in our minds, even though the specific dangers may no longer be relevant. Modern fears, like social anxiety or fear of failure, may stem from these primal instincts as well. While they may not be life-threatening, they're still deeply tied to our need for social acceptance, safety, and success. Understanding evolutionary psychology helps us recognize why certain fears persist and how they can influence our behavior in today's world. Fact 48. How the body uses fear to prepare for action. Fear is an essential survival mechanism that prepares the body for action. When we feel fear, the brain triggers a cascade of responses that help us react quickly. The body releases adrenaline, a hormone that increases heart rate, strengthens muscles, and boosts alertness, all of which prepare us to fight or flee. This process, known as the fight or flight response, has been essential for human survival. In dangerous situations, the body's fear response helps us react immediately to a threat. Whether it's running from a predator or defending ourselves from an attack, the body's fear response ensures we have the energy and focus needed to survive. However, fear can also impair our ability to think clearly. The body's intense focus on immediate action can sometimes limit our ability to assess the situation logically. While the body is preparing to act, it's important to balance the fear response with clear thinking to make the best decisions during emergencies. Fact 49. How survival instincts influence our social behavior. Survival instincts significantly influence our social behavior. Human beings have evolved to live in social groups, where cooperation and support are essential for survival. These instincts drive us to form relationships, build trust, and create social networks that ensure safety and well-being. From an evolutionary perspective, being part of a group increases the chances of survival. Groups offer protection from predators, help in finding food, and provide emotional support. Our survival instincts encourage us to connect with others, form bonds, and prioritize social harmony to strengthen the group's overall resilience. However, these instincts can also lead to groupthink or conformity, where individuals may prioritize group safety over personal well-being. The desire to belong to a group or social network is deeply ingrained in human nature, as it has always been tied to survival. Understanding how these instincts shape our behavior helps explain why we often seek approval, avoid conflict, and make decisions based on social dynamics. Fact 50. The importance of risk aversion. In human survival, risk aversion is an important survival mechanism. Throughout history, avoiding unnecessary risks has increased the chances of survival. Whether it's steering clear of dangerous animals, unsafe environments, or risky situations, the desire to minimize danger is hardwired into our brains. Risk aversion helps humans stay alive by prompting cautious behavior. In ancient times, avoiding dangerous situations like hunting risky prey or traveling in harsh conditions helped preserve life. This instinct continues today, influencing decisions in everyday life, such as avoiding risky activities or taking precautions in potentially dangerous situations. While risk aversion is helpful for survival, it can also limit growth and opportunities. In some cases, being overly cautious can prevent individuals from taking beneficial risks, such as trying new things or pursuing challenging goals. Balancing risk aversion with calculated risk-taking is key to surviving and thriving in both physical and social environments. Fact 51. The role of empathy in group survival. Empathy plays a crucial role in group survival. It helps strengthen social bonds, allowing individuals to cooperate and work together, which enhances the group's chances of survival. When one person in a group is in danger or distress, empathy drives others to offer help, whether it's through sharing resources or providing protection. This ability to empathize also promotes group cohesion, reducing conflicts and ensuring that everyone works toward common goals. In early human history, cooperative efforts in hunting, gathering, and protecting each other were essential for survival, and empathy was key in making those efforts successful. Empathy also encourages mutual care, such as parents protecting their children or individuals caring for sick members of the group. These behaviors increase the survival chances of the group as a whole. While empathy is critical for survival in social groups, it also promotes emotional well-being, helping people form supportive, trusting relationships, which contribute to long-term survival. Fact 52. Why humans are programmed to avoid harm. Humans are instinctively programmed to avoid harm as a survival mechanism. From an evolutionary standpoint, avoiding danger has always been essential for staying alive. The brain has developed to prioritize safety, constantly scanning the environment for potential threats. When danger is detected, the body responds quickly, preparing to either fight or flee. This instinct to avoid harm helps humans make quick decisions in life-threatening situations. It's what drives us to stay away from predators, dangerous environments, or risky behavior. The body's automatic stress response, like the release of adrenaline, helps us react immediately to perceived threats, even before we consciously recognize the danger. Over time, humans have developed a heightened awareness of certain threats, like heights, sharp objects, or venomous animals, which were once common dangers. While this instinct has helped humans survive in the wild, it continues to shape our behavior today, guiding us to avoid physical, emotional, or social harm when possible. Fact 53. How fear of injury impacts our reactions. Fear of injury plays a significant role in shaping our reactions. When we sense the potential for physical harm, our body immediately triggers a fear response to protect us. This response helps us react quickly to avoid injury or danger. For example, if we see something sharp or dangerous, our instinct is to step back or move away. The fear of injury is a survival mechanism that keeps us safe by preventing us from engaging in risky behaviors. It helps us avoid accidents, like touching hot surfaces or stepping into traffic, by making us aware of potential dangers. In high-stress situations, this fear can heighten our senses and prepare our muscles to react quickly. However, fear of injury can also cause hesitation in situations where action is needed. This instinct can sometimes slow us down, especially in non-life-threatening situations. Nonetheless, it remains a fundamental part of our survival instincts, helping us avoid harm and stay protected. Fact 54. How early childhood experiences shape survival instincts. Early childhood experiences play a vital role in shaping survival instincts. The brain is highly adaptable during childhood, absorbing information and learning from the environment. Positive and negative experiences in childhood help form our understanding of safety and danger, influencing how we respond to threats later in life. For example, children who experience traumatic events or grow up in dangerous environments may develop heightened fear responses or anxiety. These early experiences can lead to an overactive survival instinct, causing them to react more strongly to perceived threats in adulthood. On the other hand, children who are raised in stable, nurturing environments are more likely to develop healthy coping mechanisms and better manage stress. These early years lay the foundation for how we assess danger, build resilience, and interact with others. Ultimately, childhood experiences shape the brain's wiring, influencing our emotional and physiological responses to stress, fear, and danger throughout our lives, making early experiences crucial for developing adaptive survival instincts. Fact 55. The evolution of group cooperation for survival. Group cooperation has been essential for human survival. Early humans lived in environments where danger was constant, and working together provided protection against predators and environmental threats. Group cooperation allowed humans to share resources, defend each other, and hunt in larger, more effective teams. This evolution of social cooperation has led to stronger group dynamics. Humans have developed a deep sense of interdependence, understanding that the survival of one often depends on the well-being of the group. In early societies, cooperation ensured that food was shared, children were protected, and threats were faced collectively. Today, the benefits of cooperation continue in various forms. Whether it's in families, communities, or workplaces, the principle of working together remains a survival tool. Teamwork enhances efficiency, creates safety nets, and fosters emotional support. The instinct to cooperate has evolved into a crucial part of human behaviour, ensuring that we can adapt to challenges and thrive as social beings. Fact 56. The role of intuition in assessing threats. Intuition plays an important role in how we assess threats. It's the ability to understand something instinctively, without the need for conscious reasoning. This gut feeling often guides us in making decisions quickly, especially in situations where time is limited and a fast response is required. In life-threatening situations, intuition allows us to detect subtle signs of danger. Whether it's a person's body language or an odd noise in the environment, intuition helps us identify potential threats based on past experiences and subconscious processing. Over time, the brain has honed this ability to react instinctively, helping humans respond to danger before fully analysing the situation. However, intuition isn't always accurate. Sometimes it can be influenced by biases or emotions, leading to false conclusions. Despite this, it remains an important survival tool, especially when we need to act quickly and rely on our past experiences to guide our reactions in high-risk situations. Fact 57. The fight-or-flight response in modern times. The fight-or-flight response, a fundamental survival mechanism, remains active in modern times. Originally designed to help humans escape or confront physical danger, this instinct still triggers in response to stress or perceived threats. In today's world, the response can be activated by situations such as work pressure, relationship problems, or social anxiety. When this response is triggered, the body releases adrenaline and other stress hormones, preparing us to act quickly. This includes an increase in heart rate, faster breathing, and a boost in energy. In ancient times, this reaction helped humans avoid predators or attack threats. Today, however, these responses often happen in situations where physical danger is minimal, such as public speaking or meeting deadlines. While the fight-or-flight response is essential for quick decision-making, it can also have negative effects when triggered too often. Chronic stress can lead to health problems such as high blood pressure, anxiety, and weakened immune systems. Understanding when to manage or calm these responses is crucial for modern survival. Fact 58. The link between hunger and aggression. Hunger has a direct connection to aggression, which has roots in survival. When food is scarce, the brain interprets hunger as a threat to survival, leading to irritability and aggressive behavior. This response is linked to the body's instinctive need to secure resources, including food. In early human history, aggression driven by hunger helped individuals compete for limited resources. Those who could assert dominance over others or access food supplies had a better chance of surviving. This connection between hunger and aggression still exists today, though it manifests in more subtle ways. When we're hungry, our blood sugar levels drop and our body releases stress hormones like cortisol. This can make us more irritable or defensive, even in situations that don't require aggression. In modern times, hunger-induced aggression is often a result of long periods without food or inadequate nutrition. While the physical threat has decreased, the body still responds to hunger with heightened aggression to ensure survival. Fact 59. How survival instincts evolve with experience. Survival instincts evolve with experience. As we encounter different threats, our brain adapts by changing how we respond to danger. Over time, these responses become more refined, based on lessons learned from previous situations. This ability to adapt is crucial for improving our chances of survival. When we face new dangers, the brain stores memories of these experiences, helping us avoid similar threats in the future. This adaptation can be seen in how we react to social or environmental challenges. The more we experience, the more efficient our survival instincts become. However, not all experiences lead to positive adaptations. Trauma or repeated stress can overwhelm survival instincts, causing them to be either overactive or misdirected. Despite this, the general trend is that survival instincts evolve over time, becoming better suited to the challenges we face. This learning process is essential for survival, ensuring that our instincts continue to serve us in an ever-changing world. Fact 60. Why we are programmed to fear predators. Humans are programmed to fear predators because historically, these creatures posed a serious threat to survival. Early humans were preyed upon by larger animals such as lions and tigers. Over time, the brain developed a natural fear response to predators, helping humans stay alert and avoid being attacked. This fear is hardwired into our survival instincts. The brain's amygdala, which processes emotions, is especially sensitive to threats like predators. When we encounter a predator, our body reacts instantly, preparing us to either flee or defend ourselves. Although humans today rarely face direct threats from predators, the fear response still lingers. For example, we might feel anxious when encountering large animals or hearing about dangerous creatures. This instinctual fear is a reminder of the dangers our ancestors faced, even if modern life presents fewer physical threats. The fear of predators is deeply embedded in human survival, keeping us alert to potential risks, even in a safer, more controlled environment. Fact 61. The impact of natural disasters on survival instincts. Natural disasters trigger powerful survival instincts. When faced with events like earthquakes, floods, or wildfires, the brain activates the fight-or-flight response, preparing the body for immediate action. These catastrophic events signal to the brain that survival is at risk, prompting quick decisions to protect oneself and loved ones. The intense stress of a disaster sharpens our senses and focuses our attention on immediate threats. In the past, such instincts helped early humans escape from environmental hazards, ensuring their survival. Today, these responses help us respond to the immediate danger posed by natural disasters, guiding actions like evacuation or seeking shelter. In addition, the overwhelming fear and panic caused by disasters can also trigger a freeze response in some people, making it harder to act. Understanding how natural disasters activate survival instincts is essential for improving emergency response strategies and helping individuals make quick, rational decisions during these traumatic events. Fact 62. Why fear of failure can be a survival tool. Fear of failure has a deep evolutionary root in survival. In prehistoric times, failure could have dire consequences, such as failing to catch food, failing to protect one's group, or failing to escape a predator. The fear of making mistakes or failing encouraged caution and thoroughness, which increased chances of survival. Today, this fear manifests in situations where we face risks, like job performance or personal goals. It motivates us to avoid actions that could lead to negative outcomes, ensuring we make well-thought-out decisions. While modern challenges aren't usually life-threatening, the fear of failure still plays a role in guiding behavior, keeping us focused on success. However, this fear can also be limiting. It can prevent us from taking necessary risks or trying new things, hindering growth. Balancing the fear of failure with the ability to learn from mistakes is key. When approached in moderation, fear of failure acts as a tool that drives careful planning and survival in challenging environments. Fact 63. The importance of self-sufficiency for survival. Self-sufficiency is a vital survival trait. Being able to rely on oneself for basic needs, such as food, shelter, and safety, has historically been essential for survival. Early humans needed to be resourceful to find food, create shelter, and protect themselves from predators. The ability to do these things independently increased their chances of survival in hostile environments. In modern life, self-sufficiency still plays a critical role. It fosters independence, boosts confidence, and ensures that we can handle emergencies without relying on others. For example, knowing how to find food, purify water, or repair essential equipment can be life-saving in a disaster. However, in today's interconnected world, self-sufficiency also involves emotional and psychological resilience. Being able to manage stress, solve problems, and remain calm in the face of adversity is just as important as physical survival skills. Overall, Self-sufficiency equips us with the tools to survive and thrive in an unpredictable world. Fact 64. How human beings respond to life or death situations. When humans are faced with life or death situations, survival instincts take over. The body reacts almost automatically, with the brain sending signals to trigger the fight or flight response. This intense reaction prepares the body to either face the danger or escape it quickly, increasing the chances of survival. In these situations, physical changes occur almost instantly. Heart rate increases, muscles tense, and the body releases stress hormones like adrenaline. These changes help us react faster and be more alert, ensuring we can either fight back or flee from danger. Decision-making becomes more focused on survival, and non-essential thoughts or distractions fade away. While these responses are essential in extreme situations, they can also lead to overreaction or impulsive decisions. In non-life-threatening circumstances, the body's intense reaction might not be necessary, but the instincts remain strong. Training and practice can help individuals remain calm and make better decisions when faced with life or death situations. Fact 65. Why the fear of losing control triggers survival instincts. The fear of losing control is deeply tied to survival instincts. Throughout history, humans needed to maintain control over their environment to stay safe. Losing control could mean exposing oneself to danger, whether from a predator, environmental factors, or social threats. This fear motivates humans to act in ways that preserve their sense of autonomy and security. Today, the fear of losing control manifests in situations where we feel powerless, such as during a crisis, in stressful social interactions, or in personal challenges. This fear drives behaviors aimed at regaining control, like taking charge of a situation or avoiding risky situations that might leave us vulnerable. This survival-based fear also influences decision-making. When we feel we are losing control, the body activates the stress response, triggering fight or flight reactions. These behaviors help us navigate uncertainty, but they can also lead to overreactions, especially when the fear is not based on immediate threats. Balancing this fear with rational thinking is essential to maintaining control in challenging situations. Fact 66. How survival instincts influence risk-taking behavior. Survival instincts play a significant role in how we approach risk. Early humans had to weigh the potential dangers of their actions to ensure they survived. Risk-taking behavior, such as hunting dangerous animals or exploring unknown territories, was often balanced with the instinct to avoid harm. Those who were overly cautious might not have secured enough resources, while those who took too many risks could have faced serious consequences. Today, our survival instincts continue to influence our decisions about risk. For example, in stressful or uncertain situations, we might be more cautious and avoid taking risks that could lead to harm. On the other hand, our instincts can also drive us to take risks when survival is at stake, such as in a fight or flight situation. Modern humans often face a different type of risk: social, financial, or emotional. While these risks aren't life-threatening, our survival instincts still guide us in making decisions about whether to take action or avoid potential danger. Understanding how these instincts influence our behavior can help us make better, more informed decisions. Fact 67. The evolutionary need for a fight response. The fight response is a key survival mechanism that evolved to help humans protect themselves from threats. In dangerous situations, standing up to a predator or rival was often necessary for survival. This instinctual response was critical for defending oneself, one's group, or territory. When faced with a threat, the fight response triggers the body's natural defenses, including increased heart rate, muscle tension, and a rush of adrenaline. These changes enable humans to fight effectively, whether it's defending against an animal or confronting an intruder. The evolutionary need for the fight response helped early humans survive in hostile environments. While modern life has reduced the number of physical threats we face, the fight response is still active in situations of perceived danger. For example, it can be triggered by social conflicts or stressful situations, leading to aggressive behavior. While the fight response is essential in certain circumstances, it's important to recognize when it's not appropriate. In many modern situations, a more thoughtful response may be necessary for effective resolution. Fact 68. How isolation affects survival instincts. Isolation significantly affects our survival instincts. As social beings, humans rely on connections with others for safety and emotional support. When isolated, whether physically or emotionally, our brain perceives a lack of resources and security, triggering stress and fear responses. The survival instinct to be part of a group is deeply ingrained in humans. Early humans who lived in groups had better chances of survival because they could share resources, protect each other, and work together. Isolation undermines this safety, leading the brain to react as if a threat is present. This can cause anxiety, depression, and a heightened sense of vulnerability. Isolation also influences decision-making. Without social input or support, individuals may become more cautious or reluctant to act. In extreme cases, isolation can lead to a breakdown of survival instincts, as the person may become disconnected from reality. The human need for connection is vital not only for emotional well-being, but also for ensuring we can navigate dangers more effectively. Fact 69. The survival benefit of social bonds. Social bonds are a powerful survival tool. Throughout history, humans who formed strong connections with others had better chances of survival. Group cooperation provided protection from predators, shared resources, and emotional support, all of which enhanced survival. The brain is wired to prioritize social connections because they increase our sense of safety and security. When we are part of a group, we feel protected and are more likely to thrive. These bonds promote cooperation, mutual care, and trust, ensuring that everyone's needs are met. In times of danger or stress, social bonds help reduce fear and anxiety by providing support. Even today, the importance of social bonds remains essential for survival. Families, friends, and communities offer emotional stability, physical protection, and help in times of crisis. People are more likely to face challenges successfully when they have a strong support system. These bonds make life less stressful and ensure that we can rely on others for help, boosting our overall chances of survival. Fact 70. The role of fear in creating social hierarchies. Fear plays a key role in the formation of social hierarchies. Throughout history, humans have used fear to establish dominance and protect group resources. Leaders often rose to power by projecting strength or the ability to protect the group from external threats, creating a structure where others look to them for guidance and security. In social groups, fear of losing status or access to resources often drives individuals to act in ways that maintain their position. Fear of rejection, exclusion, or punishment can influence behavior, pushing people to conform to group norms or hierarchies to secure their place within the group. On the flip side, fear can also challenge hierarchies. In situations of conflict, individuals or groups may fear losing their position or control, leading to power struggles and competition for dominance. Fear, then, becomes a motivator for both maintaining and challenging social structures. Ultimately, fear influences both the creation and the disruption of social hierarchies, guiding how individuals navigate their roles within a group and their interactions with others. Fact 71. How anger helps us. Assert dominance in dangerous situations. Anger plays an important role in asserting dominance during dangerous situations. When faced with threats, anger activates the fight response, giving us the energy and courage to confront danger head-on. This surge of emotion can push us to stand our ground, defend ourselves, or protect others, increasing our chances of survival. In early human history, anger helped individuals fight off predators or rivals, ensuring the survival of the group. Anger triggers a release of adrenaline, which increases physical strength, alertness, and focus. It also provides motivation to overcome fear and intimidation, pushing us to act decisively. However, while anger can be beneficial in high-risk situations, it can also cloud judgment and lead to aggressive actions that may not be necessary. In modern life, this can cause conflicts or harmful decisions. The key to using anger effectively is to channel it in ways that protect us without escalating situations unnecessarily. Fact 72. Why humans can be paralyzed by fear. Humans can sometimes be paralyzed by fear due to the brain's overwhelming response to perceived danger. In extreme situations, the brain's stress response, particularly the freeze response, can cause the body to become immobile. This is an instinctive reaction, meant to protect us from detection by predators or threats. The freeze response occurs when the brain evaluates the situation and decides that fleeing or fighting may not be possible. By remaining still, we avoid drawing attention, increasing the chance of survival. This can be particularly useful when hiding from a predator or in a threatening social situation. However, in modern contexts, the freeze response can be less helpful. In stressful or overwhelming situations, it can leave individuals stuck, unable to take action. Overcoming this paralysis often requires consciously shifting from fear to rational thinking and pushing past the instinct to freeze. Fact 73. The psychology of fear. What makes us afraid? Fear is a complex emotion shaped by both biological and psychological factors. It is triggered by perceived threats, activating the brain's amygdala, which processes emotional responses. Fear is a survival mechanism designed to alert us to danger and prompt quick action to protect ourselves. What makes us afraid often relates to past experiences, cultural conditioning, and evolutionary instincts. Humans are particularly sensitive to dangers that could threaten survival, such as physical harm, social rejection, or the unknown. Our brains are wired to detect and respond to these dangers to ensure survival. Fear can be learned through experiences such as trauma or exposure to fearful stimuli. It can also be influenced by society, as we learn to fear certain things based on cultural beliefs or media portrayals. While fear is essential for survival, it can sometimes be irrational, leading us to avoid situations that are not genuinely threatening. Fact 74. How memory plays a key role in avoiding danger. Memory plays a vital role in helping us avoid danger by allowing us to recall past experiences of harm. When we encounter a dangerous situation, our brain stores this experience in memory, associating specific cues, such as sights, sounds, or locations, with fear or danger. This allows us to recognize similar threats in the future and react quickly. Through memory, humans learn what is safe and what poses a risk. For example, if we've been burned by a hot stove before, our brain will remember the pain and signal us to avoid similar situations. This learned behavior helps us protect ourselves from harm over time. Memory also helps us identify patterns that may indicate potential danger. By recalling past experiences, we can make more informed decisions and react more effectively. However, memory can also be influenced by bias or trauma, sometimes leading to exaggerated or irrational fear responses. Fact 75. Why we remember traumatic events more clearly. We remember traumatic events more clearly due to the way the brain processes extreme emotional experiences. The amygdala, which processes emotions, is activated during stressful or dangerous situations, making those memories more vivid and easier to recall. This heightened emotional response reinforces the memory, ensuring we remember the event in detail. From an evolutionary perspective, remembering traumatic events is vital for survival. If we can clearly recall situations where we were harmed, we can avoid repeating them in the future. For example, remembering the pain of an injury or the fear of a dangerous encounter encourages us to stay away from similar threats. The intensity of traumatic memories can make them feel more prominent than other, less emotional memories. However, while remembering trauma can help avoid future danger, it can also lead to anxiety or post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, if the memories are overwhelming or unresolved. Fact 76. The survival benefit of quick reactions in crisis. Quick reactions are essential for survival in crisis situations. The human brain is wired to respond rapidly when danger is detected, activating the fight or flight response to prepare the body for immediate action. This instinctual reaction allows us to flee from predators, defend ourselves, or take other necessary steps to survive. In life-threatening situations, the faster we act, the better our chances of survival. Whether it's evading an oncoming vehicle or reacting to a sudden threat, quick reactions can make the difference between life and death. This ability to act swiftly is rooted in the brain's ability to process threat signals quickly, bypassing slower, more deliberate thought processes. While this rapid reaction is crucial in emergencies, it can sometimes lead to hasty or poor decisions if the threat is misjudged. The challenge is balancing the need for speed with thoughtful, strategic responses to ensure the best outcomes in dangerous situations. Fact 77. How fear affects our perception of time. Fear can significantly distort our perception of time. When we're scared, our brain focuses intensely on the threat, which can make time feel as if it's either speeding up or slowing down. In extreme stress, such as in life or death situations, time can feel like it has slowed, allowing us to react more quickly and process information in greater detail. This change in perception is linked to the brain's heightened state of alertness. The body's fight or flight response increases focus and memory, helping us make split-second decisions. This sense of time dilation can be beneficial, giving us a few extra moments to assess danger or escape. However, in non-threatening situations, fear can also lead to a distorted sense of time. Anxiety can make us feel like time is dragging, causing us to overthink or become overly cautious. Managing this perception can help us stay calm and make more rational decisions, especially when stress isn't tied to immediate danger. Fact 78. The role of anxiety in heightening survival instincts. Anxiety is a natural response to perceived danger, heightening our survival instincts. When we feel anxious, our brain activates the same systems that respond to fear, preparing the body to react quickly. This heightened state of awareness can make us more alert to potential threats, even if they're not immediately present. While anxiety can be triggered by real dangers, it often arises in situations that don't involve immediate risk. In these cases, the body still responds as though it's preparing for danger, increasing heart rate, muscle tension, and alertness. This response can make us feel more prepared, but it can also lead to overreaction or avoidance behaviors. Despite its negative effects, anxiety has an evolutionary purpose. It helps us stay vigilant and motivated to avoid harm. In survival scenarios, anxiety can be the body's way of keeping us prepared for the unexpected, encouraging us to act quickly or seek shelter before a real threat arises. Fact 79. The connection between fear and self-preservation. Fear is deeply connected to self-preservation, one of the most fundamental human instincts. When we sense danger, fear triggers a cascade of responses that prepare the body to protect itself. These responses, such as increased heart rate and heightened alertness, ensure that we are ready to either fight or flee from the threat. Throughout history, fear has been an essential tool for survival. It alerts us to threats such as predators or environmental dangers and motivates us to take immediate action. Without fear, humans would be less likely to react to immediate dangers, putting their survival at risk. In modern times, fear of harm continues to guide decision-making, helping us avoid dangerous situations. Fear also plays a role in avoiding social risks, such as rejection or failure, which can threaten our emotional well-being. Overall, fear is a protective mechanism that ensures we stay safe, whether from physical harm or psychological distress. Fact 80. How cognitive biases impact survival. Decision-making. Cognitive biases shape how we make decisions, especially when it comes to survival. These mental shortcuts help us process information quickly, but they can also lead to errors in judgment. In life-threatening situations, biases can impact how we assess risk and react to danger. For example, the availability bias makes us overestimate the likelihood of a threat based on how easily it comes to mind. If we've recently heard about a shark attack, we might fear swimming, even though the actual risk is low. Similarly, the confirmation bias leads us to seek information that supports our existing beliefs, which can skew our perception of danger. While these biases are designed to help us make quick decisions, they can also lead to overreactions or poor choices. In survival situations, it's essential to be aware of these biases and take a moment to assess the situation more logically, ensuring that decisions are based on facts rather than instinctive fears. Fact 81. The role of perception in life or death situations. Perception plays a crucial role in life or death situations. Our ability to quickly assess a situation and perceive potential threats determines how we react. The brain processes environmental cues, such as movement, sound, and visual stimuli, to decide whether danger is present. This process is fast and automatic, relying on the survival instinct to guide decisions. In dangerous scenarios, perception helps us differentiate between what is safe and what poses a risk. For instance, recognizing the posture or behavior of an aggressive animal can prompt immediate action. However, perception can also be flawed, leading us to overestimate or underestimate a threat. Misjudging a situation can lead to unnecessary fear or hesitation. Our survival depends on our perception of reality. Accurate perception allows us to take appropriate action, whether by fighting, fleeing, or freezing. In high-stress situations, this quick judgment is vital for making life-saving decisions, ensuring that our instincts guide us towards safety. Fact 82. How threats trigger immediate biological responses. When we encounter a threat, our body's biological responses are triggered almost instantly. This process begins in the brain, where the amygdala detects danger and sends signals to activate the body's fight-or-flight response. The body then releases stress hormones, such as adrenaline and cortisol, which prepare us to either fight or flee. Adrenaline boosts our heart rate, increases blood flow to muscles, and sharpens our senses, enabling us to act quickly. Cortisol helps sustain energy levels by raising blood sugar and reducing pain sensitivity. These immediate biological responses allow us to react faster to potential threats, increasing our chances of survival. The fight-or-flight response is automatic, not requiring conscious thought. It ensures that we can react to danger in a split second, whether it's running from a predator or defending ourselves from an attacker. This instinctual response has been essential for human survival, allowing quick action in life-threatening situations. Fact 83. Why the brain struggles to adapt to stressful environments. The brain struggles to adapt to stressful environments because of its natural tendency to react to stress as if it were a threat to survival. When we are under stress, the brain activates the fight-or-flight response, preparing the body for action. While this response is beneficial in life-threatening situations, it can be overwhelming when faced with chronic stressors. In stressful environments, the brain's ability to cope becomes taxed. The constant release of stress hormones like cortisol can lead to mental fatigue and difficulty processing information. This makes it harder for the brain to think clearly and make sound decisions. Over time, prolonged exposure to stress can also impair memory, concentration, and emotional regulation. This struggle to adapt is rooted in the brain's evolutionary design. It is programmed to respond to stress by prioritizing immediate survival, but modern life often presents challenges that don't require quick life-or-death responses. Overcoming stress requires learning how to manage these responses effectively. Fact 84. The role of pain in reinforcing survival instincts. Pain is a powerful force in reinforcing survival instincts. It serves as a signal that something is wrong, encouraging the body to avoid harmful situations. When we experience pain, the brain processes it as a warning, prompting us to stop harmful activities, seek safety, and avoid repeating actions that could lead to further injury. This instinct is deeply rooted in our evolutionary survival mechanisms. Early humans needed to learn quickly what was harmful, like touching fire or encountering dangerous animals. Pain reinforced these lessons, teaching the body to avoid risks and prioritize self-preservation. Pain also helps the body heal and recover. After an injury, pain motivates us to rest and protect the injured area, allowing it to heal. While pain can be distressing, it plays a crucial role in guiding behavior and ensuring long-term survival by teaching the brain to associate certain actions with danger. Fact 85. How hormonal changes influence our response to danger. Hormonal changes play a significant role in how we respond to danger. When faced with a threat, the body releases hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, which prepare us to react quickly. These hormones affect various bodily functions, including heart rate, muscle strength, and focus, enhancing our ability to respond to immediate threats. Adrenaline, for example, increases heart rate and blood flow to muscles, providing the energy needed for a fight-or-flight response. Cortisol helps sustain energy during prolonged stress and heightens alertness. These hormonal changes prepare the body to act decisively and efficiently in life-threatening situations. However, hormonal changes can also impact our emotions and decision-making. Chronic stress can lead to long-term hormonal imbalances, which may cause anxiety, depression, and difficulty making decisions. While hormones are essential for survival, managing stress and balancing these responses is important for maintaining mental and physical health. Fact 86. The link between fear and self-esteem. Fear is closely linked to self-esteem, as our fear responses can influence how we view ourselves and our ability to cope with challenges. When faced with a threat, fear triggers a survival response that can either strengthen or weaken our self-esteem. If we successfully manage a threat, our confidence increases, reinforcing positive self-esteem. Conversely, if we fail to act, our self-worth may be negatively affected. The fear of failure or rejection often ties into our sense of self-worth. Humans are wired to seek acceptance and avoid social threats. When we fear rejection, our survival instincts push us to behave in ways that protect our social standing. If we feel threatened by criticism or failure, our self-esteem can drop, leading to feelings of inadequacy. While fear can motivate self-preservation, it's important to recognize that managing fear in healthy ways is crucial for maintaining positive self-esteem. Overcoming fear and building confidence strengthens our resilience, allowing us to face challenges without compromising our sense of self. Fact 87. Why we fear. Rejection, a survival mechanism. Fear of rejection is an evolutionary survival mechanism. In early human societies, being rejected from the group could mean losing access to resources, protection, and social bonds. As social creatures, humans are deeply wired to seek acceptance and avoid exclusion. Rejection posed a real threat to survival, as it often meant being left vulnerable to predators or other dangers. This fear of rejection drives us to seek approval from others and maintain social bonds. It influences behavior by encouraging individuals to conform to group norms, work together for mutual benefit, and avoid actions that could lead to social ostracism. The desire to belong to a group or tribe is deeply ingrained in human behavior. In modern society, the fear of rejection still affects how we interact with others. While the consequences of rejection are less severe today, the instinct remains strong. This fear can shape social interactions, career choices, and even personal relationships as we seek acceptance to ensure our social survival. Fact 88. The psychology of procrastination and survival instincts. Procrastination is linked to survival instincts in a complex way. While it may seem like a behavior driven by laziness or poor time management, procrastination can actually be a response to fear of failure, fear of success, or fear of difficult tasks can cause people to delay action, even when they know it might harm their future well-being. From a survival perspective, procrastination can be a protective mechanism. When we fear a task, whether it's a presentation or a challenging decision, our brains react by avoiding the stress or discomfort associated with it. This avoidance response is tied to our natural desire to protect ourselves from emotional harm, similar to how we avoid physical danger. However, procrastination can be counterproductive when it leads to more stress, missed opportunities, or negative consequences. Overcoming procrastination requires understanding the fear or discomfort that triggers it, and finding strategies to face challenges head-on, using our survival instincts to propel us forward rather than hold us back. Fact 89. How instincts help us avoid dangerous people. Instincts play a crucial role in helping us avoid dangerous people. Humans are highly perceptive of subtle social cues such as body, language, tone of voice, and facial expressions. Our survival instincts are designed to alert us to signs of threat, even in social interactions. When we feel uncomfortable or threatened by someone, our instincts often guide us to distance ourselves or be cautious. For example, a person's aggressive posture or hostile tone might trigger an instinctive fear response, even if they haven't yet acted aggressively. The brain processes these cues as potential dangers, prompting us to avoid the situation or person. This instinct has evolved to protect us from physical harm or social threats. While this survival instinct helps us stay safe, it's not always accurate. Sometimes, we might misinterpret harmless behavior as threatening, leading to unwarranted fear or social anxiety. Nonetheless, these instincts are crucial in protecting us from real harm and ensuring our safety in social environments. Fact 90. Why survival instincts are hardwired into human behavior. Survival instincts are hardwired into human behavior because they have been essential to our survival throughout history. From early humans facing predators to modern individuals navigating complex social and environmental challenges, these instincts have helped us avoid danger and ensure the continuation of the species. At the core of human survival instincts are automatic responses, like fight or flight, which are triggered by perceived threats. These responses don't require conscious thought, allowing us to act quickly and protect ourselves from harm. Over generations, humans have evolved to react to danger in ways that maximize survival chances. These instincts are embedded in the brain, particularly in areas like the amygdala, which processes fear and triggers appropriate reactions. While modern life presents fewer immediate dangers, these instincts still guide our behavior, shaping how we respond to stress, fear, and uncertainty. Despite their usefulness, survival instincts can sometimes lead to overreactions or misjudgments, but they remain essential for navigating the world and ensuring our safety. Fact 91. How our fear responses are shaped by culture. Our fear responses are shaped by both biology and culture. While humans are born with certain fear responses, cultural influences teach us what to fear and how to react. For example, in some cultures, people may have a heightened fear of certain animals or supernatural beliefs based on the stories and teachings passed down through generations. Media, religion, and societal norms all play a role in shaping these responses. Cultural differences in fear can also be seen in how individuals react to social situations. In some cultures, fear of social rejection or judgment is more intense due to communal values and expectations. This cultural framework helps explain why fear can vary greatly from one society to another. Cultural experiences shape the way we interpret danger, influencing whether we confront it, avoid it, or even fear it in the first place. Understanding these cultural influences helps us realize that fear is not just a biological instinct, but also a learned response based on societal factors. Fact 92. The role of survival instincts in shaping moral decisions. Survival instincts often influence moral decision-making. Our desire to protect ourselves, our families, and our communities shapes the choices we make. In high-stress or threatening situations, the brain may prioritize self-preservation, leading to moral decisions that protect our immediate well-being. For example, in life-threatening situations, people may resort to actions that protect their survival, even if they go against societal norms or moral codes. The survival instinct pushes us to ensure our own safety and the safety of our loved ones, which may sometimes lead to ethical dilemmas. This can be seen in situations where individuals must choose between helping others or prioritizing their own needs, especially in emergencies. Over time, cultural and social factors influence how survival instincts align with moral behavior. While survival instincts are deeply ingrained, individuals learn to balance these impulses with empathy, fairness, and cooperation, forming the basis for moral decision-making in a social context. Fact 93. Why human beings are social creatures. Humans are inherently social creatures, deeply wired for connection and cooperation. Throughout evolution, living in groups provided greater protection, access to resources, and increased chances of survival. Social groups allowed early humans to share food, defend against predators, and raise children together, ensuring the survival of the species. The brain is designed to form bonds, releasing chemicals like oxytocin that promote trust and social bonding. These bonds help individuals cooperate, reducing the risk of harm and increasing social support during times of stress. Social connections also provide emotional security, helping to reduce anxiety and fear. In modern life, the need for social interaction remains strong. People thrive in environments where they can connect with others, share experiences, and build communities. The survival instinct to be part of a group continues to guide human behavior, influencing how we form friendships, families, and work relationships, all of which contribute to a sense of safety and well-being. Fact 94. The psychological benefits of having a survival strategy. Having a survival strategy provides psychological benefits by offering a sense of control and preparedness. When faced with danger, having a plan can reduce anxiety and increase confidence. Knowing what to do in a crisis allows individuals to act decisively, rather than feeling overwhelmed by fear or uncertainty. A survival strategy helps the brain prioritize actions and focus on immediate needs, which is essential for staying calm under pressure. The psychological benefit of a plan is that it provides structure in an otherwise chaotic situation, making it easier to navigate through stress. Beyond immediate survival, having a strategy also provides long-term benefits by promoting mental resilience. It helps individuals develop problem-solving skills, build emotional strength, and foster a sense of self-reliance. The process of planning and preparing for potential dangers also reduces the feeling of helplessness, contributing to better emotional health and overall survival preparedness. Fact 95. How mental resilience supports survival instincts. Mental resilience is essential for supporting survival instincts. In challenging or threatening situations, the ability to stay calm, think clearly, and adapt to stress increases the likelihood of survival. Mental resilience helps individuals manage fear, anxiety, and panic, enabling them to make rational decisions under pressure. Resilience is developed over time through experiences that test a person's emotional strength. People who face adversity and learn to cope with difficulties are better equipped to handle life-threatening situations. This ability to adapt emotionally helps the brain maintain focus on survival without being overwhelmed by fear or stress. Mental resilience also fosters a positive mindset, which aids in overcoming obstacles. People with high resilience tend to recover quickly from setbacks, adjust to changing circumstances, and maintain hope in the face of uncertainty. These traits are crucial for survival, as they ensure that individuals can persevere and act when the situation requires it. Fact 96. The role of trust in group survival. Trust plays a critical role in group survival. When people trust each other, they are more likely to cooperate and share resources, which improves the group's chances of survival. Trust fosters collaboration, allowing groups to work together efficiently in hunting, gathering, or defending against threats. In dangerous situations, trust allows individuals to act without hesitation, knowing that others will support them. For example, in a survival scenario, individuals rely on each other for safety, knowing that mutual cooperation increases everyone's chances of survival. Trust also reduces stress and anxiety, as individuals feel more secure within the group. However, trust can be fragile. Betrayal or conflict within a group can weaken cooperation and increase vulnerability. Maintaining trust is essential for group cohesion, and when it breaks down, it can put the entire group at risk. The instinct to trust others has evolved to ensure collective survival, but it must be nurtured and protected to be effective. Fact 97. How survival instincts are influenced by evolutionary adaptations. Survival instincts are deeply influenced by evolutionary adaptations. Over time, human beings have developed behaviors that enhance survival in various environments. These instincts, such as the fight-or-flight response, are shaped by genetic evolution and are passed down through generations to help us respond to threats. Evolution has fine-tuned these instincts to make us more efficient at reacting to danger. For example, our ability to detect predators or dangerous situations is an adaptive response to the challenges faced by early humans. These instincts have been honed by natural selection to ensure that only the most adaptive behaviors are passed on. Modern survival instincts still retain elements of these evolutionary adaptations, but they are sometimes triggered by threats that are no longer relevant. The brain's response to stress, danger, or fear still relies on these ancient adaptations, even if the risks we face today are different from those of our ancestors. Fact 98. Why people are drawn to danger. Despite survival instincts. People are sometimes drawn to danger despite their survival instincts. This attraction can be traced back to an innate curiosity and the desire to test boundaries. While survival instincts encourage caution and risk avoidance, humans are naturally curious and may seek out excitement or novelty, even when it involves danger. Evolutionarily, this tendency to explore was useful in discovering new territories, resources, and opportunities. It allowed early humans to adapt to changing environments and find better places to live. However, this instinct to seek out new experiences can also lead to risky behavior, such as thrill-seeking or unsafe activities. In modern life, the desire for adventure or excitement can override our survival instincts. Whether through extreme sports, exploring dangerous places, or even social risks, people are often willing to face fear and discomfort in search of a rush. While this behavior can be exhilarating, it's important to balance curiosity with caution to ensure safety. Fact 9. The psychological impact of trauma on survival instincts. Trauma has a profound psychological impact on survival instincts. When a person experiences a traumatic event, their survival instincts become heightened. The brain associates the event with danger, which can cause the fight or flight response to be triggered more easily in future situations, even if the threat is not as severe. This heightened state of alertness can lead to anxiety, hypervigilance, and emotional distress. Individuals who have experienced trauma may find it harder to manage stress or make clear decisions, as their survival instincts are constantly on high alert. The body remains in a state of preparedness, even in safe environments, which can be exhausting. Trauma also impacts memory, reinforcing fear responses in the brain. Over time, this can lead to a cycle of anxiety, where the person feels overwhelmed by potential threats, even if they are no longer in immediate danger. Healing from trauma requires rewiring these survival instincts, which is why therapy and coping mechanisms are essential for managing the long-term psychological effects of trauma. Fact 100. The legacy of survival instincts in modern human behavior. The legacy of survival instincts continues to shape modern human behavior. Although we no longer face the same dangers as our ancestors, our brains are still wired to respond to perceived threats with quick, automatic reactions. These survival instincts help us navigate everyday challenges, such as stress, conflict, and social situations, by preparing our bodies to react. For example, the fight or flight response is still activated in stressful situations, even if the threat is not life-threatening. This instinct can cause people to react quickly, whether in a job interview, an argument, or a public speaking event. While these situations may not endanger our lives, the brain interprets them as potential threats, triggering the same physiological responses designed for survival. Understanding the legacy of survival instincts helps us manage these responses more effectively. By recognizing when they are triggered unnecessarily, we can learn to stay calm and make better decisions in non-threatening situations. These instincts are a fundamental part of human behavior, ensuring our ability to adapt and survive in a complex world.